Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to talk about a market research technique that product managers can leverage if they are lucky enough. No kidding, seriously. So if you're interested to know that, keep watching. It's a research wherein you can make use of a research which is done by analyst firms. But what is an analyst firm? So analyst firm is an organization or a research organization to be precise, which specializes in collecting, analyzing and interpreting the data and the information related to specific industries, markets, technologies or business sectors. These organizations, they conduct the research and they provide the insights to the businesses, investors and the decision makers so that they can make a strategic decision based on whatever research they're interested in. So that is a very quick overview of what an analyst firm actually is. If I were to give an example, I'm not sure if you've heard, but organizations like Gartner, Forrester, IDC, these are some of the analyst firms out there in market. Now, obviously all the different analyst firms, they are limited to certain industries. Like not every analyst firm is researching about the same type of industries or same type of market or same type of users. They vary, and that's why your organization or my organization would pick out an analyst firm who is in the space that I am, like which our organization currently is in. Now you cannot just go and go to their website and download their research papers. It doesn't work like that, because these organizations, these are geared towards businesses or the organizations, and they are not geared towards serving the individuals. So that is why I said that lucky factor. So if you are in an organization who already has a collaboration with analyst firms like Gartner or Forrester, then that is a research which you can leverage as a product manager to make the decisions in your product in your day-to-day life. Now, usually these organizations, they provide subscription-based services. So your organization would have to purchase that subscription for X amount of time to be able to leverage the insights so that the organization as a whole can benefit from it and can make their strategic decisions. Now, yes, obviously, if your organization already has that, you should definitely leverage it. If not, it should not stop you from recommending the same to your head of product and saying, this is something that we will be really benefited by. But then obviously you need to do your own research on how you think this is something that can really benefit your market research and then grow the business overall. So you have to think it from that lens as well. Like not everything is going to suit everyone, so you need to see if this is something that's the right fit for the product you're working in, for the organization you're working in. If not, it doesn't really make sense for an organization to spend money on paying the subscription fee on a regular basis. But if it is, then I think you should definitely recommend it to your organization so that you can make use of it. But how do these research reports help the product managers specifically? So there are 9 ways in which it helps. First one, it provides market and industry reports. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier as well, organizations like these, they look at the market as a whole and the industry as a whole, and they provide insight based on that. So now you as a product manager, you have to first of all know what market you are operating in and what is the industry you are operating in. Are you in B2B or are you in B2C? Are you into technology? Are you into food business? So you have to first understand what market you are in and what industry you are in, and then leverage the reports, because these reports, they provide information on the trends which are there in the market as a whole or the industry as a whole. Now product managers can leverage these reports to understand the market trends, market growth, market size, and then they can figure out what opportunities there are, which is something that they can leverage for their own product. So you can basically find the gaps that there are in the market, what are the different potential target segments you could go after, and what the emerging technologies are. So that's where this market research paper is going to be really helpful for you. So that's the number one. So number two, or the second way which a product manager can leverage these reports, are competitive analysis. So it's not a higher level or a broader picture. The reports like these, they have information about the competitors as well. So for your product, who are the competitors? So it will have information on what all offerings there are that these competitors are providing, and you can see, what the competitive landscape looks like and where there are opportunities that you can pick up on. So you can use this information to benchmark your product against the competitors, and you can see where those gaps are clearly and basically be able to leverage it and make it your own differentiation because you've looked at it all together. So this is a really powerful tool for doing a competitive analysis. Now, number 3, the third way which a product manager can leverage these research reports are the consumer insights. So it's not just about the market and industry. These reports have information at a buyer level or at a consumer level. So you can really understand your target audience better on what pain points are they facing, what are the things that they are looking out in the market for. So that consumer level insight is really going to be helpful for you as a product manager to think about it from an end user perspective on where they think there is an opportunity, not where you think there is. So it's going to be really helpful at a consumer level or at a buyer level research as well, so that you can build a product which resonates with your target audience and not something that they don't really care about. So you can really leverage reports like these for consumer level insights. Now, the fourth way which product managers can use these research paper are the technological trends and adoptions. So as a whole, these research papers, they provide where is the technology growing, like what's the shift in the market. So you can really look at that. Even if you are a little bit behind on your own personal research, you can see that where is the technology going and are users going alongside it or not, and those trends are what you can see and then leverage it for your own product. So this can really provide opportunities for innovation there. Now I'll take an example like AI. Obviously we all know like it is an emerging technology. Some of the companies have very well adopted it, some actually have not. So if you think this is a technology that is going to match with your end user, then this is something you should leverage. If your end users are not really very hands-on with how to use AI, which is the whole purpose of using AI. So I think if you get all of that information and those technological trends, it will be really beneficial for you to know whether you need to step in or not. So research papers can really help you figure that out as well. So the fifth way in which a product manager can leverage these research papers are forecasts and predictions. So companies like Gartner or Forrester or IDC or Deloitte or BCG, these are all research organizations. They're not new in the market. They have decades and decades of experience under their hood. So they have basically learned out of that, right? So which means that they have learned and they are able to forecast and they are able to predict what will happen, what change is likely to happen either in technology or in the consumer trend or in the way the products get adopted by the users. So they are basically able to make those predictions. So it's really helpful for product managers to use those predictions and make informed decisions about the product development or the timing of your launch or the market positioning. So it is going to be really helpful resource for you as a product manager. Now the sixth way in which the research papers can be leveraged is validation of your strategies. This is really interesting because you are not completely going to rely on a research paper to guide you towards what feature you want to develop next. Instead, this can be used as a tool which you use to validate your research. What I mean by that is you've done some research. Now at some point later in your research journey, you come back to these research papers and you use this to validate whether the research that I have done, does it align with where the market is going or what the consumer behavior shifts are, does it really align with that, or am I way too off? So that validation is something that will provide you really good credibility as a product manager, because these firms are very prestigious. So if your findings really match with these research reports, I think that's a really good sign and something that you can definitely leverage within your organization, within your product, to take it even to the next level so that the business can grow as a whole. So that validation is really exciting for a product manager to get. Now the seventh way wherein product manager can leverage these research papers are webinars and events. So companies like these, they do these sort of events online and offline quite frequently, which means you have an opportunity to network. It's not only about networking, it's about staying on top of the industry and on top of the trends. So that experience wherein you are listening directly from renowned speakers, or you are listening it directly from the other person who's your competitor or not directly your competitor, so that really makes a difference. So I think it's a win-win situation in all the cases. Now the eighth way which a product manager can really benefit from these research papers are advisory and consulting services. So an interesting thing about these firms are they provide these advisory and consulting services as well. So it's not like I am just handing you over this research paper, now you understand whatever you want to. Obviously they will charge a little extra for those one-on-one consultations, whatever, but it's really helpful because then you get to speak with the other person who has experience in this and who is possibly also speaking with your competitors or also speaking with your users. So those advisory and consulting services can really provide product managers with a personalized advice and guidance from the experts like themselves, which they can leverage in their own product. So in this sort of environment, the advisors or the consultants, they basically are able to do a review of your product. Like you do a demo for them and they are reviewing on a personalized level. That's why I said a personalized advice is going to be really helpful for a product manager. And then last but not the least, the ninth way a product manager can benefit from it is subscription services. As I earlier said, usually these organizations, they sell these research papers on a subscription basis. So it's not like a one-time thing. They can leverage it frequently, as in when there is an update, the product managers or the organization as a whole would know, whoever is interested in or is collaborating with the person from the analyst firm, but they would always be on top of any change that is happening, any new report that's coming out, because it's not a once in a year event. Some reports come out in first quarter, some in second quarter, some in third quarter. So that relationship with the analyst firm at a one-on-one level would really help you stay on top of these trends, and that is something that you can make wonderful use of in your own product to grow it to the next level. Now I think I've spoken enough about what benefits there are in collaboration with the analyst firm for a product manager for a business as a whole, but it's important to note that you've got to choose a reputable organization to work with, because you're going to spend so much money by working with these analyst firm. You want to make sure there is an ROI for it, right? So you've got to make sure that it's a reputable firm, it's really something that meets your organization needs, and it's something that you can really benefit from. So I would highly recommend making use of this if your organization already has this. If not, as I said, you do not hesitate to recommend it to the head of your product and making that call. I think it's really beneficial. My company personally, we do work with analyst firm and we do make use of these analyst firms to make product decisions. It's really helpful. I have personally seen these research papers. They are great. So that is why I said, if you're lucky to work in an organization who has partnered with analyst firms like these, you should definitely make use of these. So do let me know via comments if this is something that you've heard of before, if this is something that your organization uses. If it does uses, have you been able to make use of it or not? Until then, I'm going to see you all next week. Bye bye.